you're going to sit there and you're not going to do anything until I finish this review. I'm dead.
They won't stop until they kill us. Or we kill them.
Be careful.
Us is the return behind the camera of Jordan Peele. Many people remember only a mere 2 years ago, he made a big breakout as a director with his film Get Out, a film which took everyone off guard. Wait a minute, the guy who is one half of one of the best comedy duos working today directed this incredible social satire slash absolutely intense psychological thriller. And it was also a historical debut, one in which netted Jordan Peele a well-deserved original screenplay Oscar. Well, I'm definitely here to say with the utmost confidence, this is not only another great outing for Jordan Peele, but it firmly establishes him as one of the newest and freshest and most innovative new voices in film working today. I will definitely say on the strength of this and Get Out, I cannot wait to see what he churns out next. I'm going to have to warn you, there's going to come a point where I'm going to have to get into spoilers, so I'm going to try to broad stroke it here. Us begins with a suburban family. The matriarch of the family is played by Lupita Nyong'o, and we have Gabriel played by Winston Duke. And their children, Zora and Jason, they are all going on holiday to a beach, Santa Cruz, a beach which Adelaide has something of a traumatic history with when she ran afoul of a little girl that looked exactly like her. One night, a family shows up on their doorstep, and upon closer examination, they discover that this family are their perfect doppelgangers. Only upon closer examination, they discover that this family is, well, I suppose the best way to describe it, they seem to be somewhat more primitive. It happens pretty early on in the film, and you're wondering, Jordan Peele, did we play our hand a little too early on this one? Only to be shocked to discover, no. This ends up leading you spiraling down this mad, insane rabbit hole, and I'm using that term very appropriately. It leads you down this path which goes to a conclusion that is absolutely haunting with its grandeur. Where it ends up is drastically different than where you could have ever anticipated it was when we first initially meet this doppelganger family. Where Get Out is definitely much more about ever-escalating sense of dread, and it's much more about atmosphere, and it's much more about lingering visuals. Us is much more frantic. It is much more animalistic. But it doesn't fall into the tropes that you'd find in any of your typical slasher fare. I mean, most of the great horror films I've seen nowadays have been able to do a lot with simple, lingering atmosphere. Hereditary was a fine example. A Quiet Place did a great job with its tension. But this film wanted to play a lot more with the way this family challenged our main cast. There are moments in this film where I was gripping my seat in the hopes that some, if not all of our characters come through it in one piece. And honestly, that's as far as I can leave you without getting too spoilery. Yeah, Lupita Nyong'o's performance in particular it's right up there with Toni Collette's in Hereditary. It's that level of intense. It's insane. It is multifaceted, not just in her performance as Adelaide, but also as her tethered counterpart. And there's a sequence in the latter part of the film that involves the two of them, which really showcases what she does as an actress. And I hope to see more amazing things from her in the future. And I hope this garners her so much more critical attention. The performances across the board are incredible, so much so that I could go on all day talking about them, but nevertheless, the performances are a strong reflection of Jordan Peele's efforts as a director, and the fact that he casts the right people, and he writes the characters so well that he gives the actors some great meat to work off of, and not just Winston Duke, but also the two kids who play Zora and Jason. They are also incredible. Definitely another addition to some really great young talent. And I'm going to have to leave you with that, because in order for me to get deeper into this, we're going to have to get into... So this film has been interpreted a load of different ways already going into it. Many socially minded individuals have actually said that this film is a satire of class discrimination. For myself, on my initial viewing, I was looking at it as something a bit more personal. I looked at this more in the sense that, for all of us, we seem to have fallen into not just one type of trapping, but a vast array of trappings. And as a result, we've kind of sort of stifled ourselves collectively. A lot of this is illustrated with our main characters. With Adelaide, she is definitely hiding a lot of her traumas and trying to bury the reckoning of these traumas in a husband, in a family, just trying to stifle it and just try to just focus entirely on being a mother. Meanwhile, you've got Zora, who is pretty much the typical teen who is heavily, addicted to her phone, and who you can tell is distant from the rest of her family. She still interacts with them, but only on a base level. Meanwhile, you've got Jason, who definitely wants to let his eccentric side shine, but unfortunately he always seems to find himself being judged by everyone around him. They all seem to want to tell him to kind of hide that. And unfortunately he does, behind a mask. And then you've got Gabe, played by Winston Duke, always seems to be finding himself envious of his friend, who always seems to get the better toys, who obviously seems to have a better job, who has a nicer house. And any attempt he makes to try and be equally as oppressive always seems to come up short, and he always seems to think that there's something wrong with that. He gets a boat, it's a piece of crap, and he tries to dress it up like it's really awesome, but he always looks upon his friend who has a much better boat, and he goes, He could be happy with what he has, but he always finds himself to be in envy of his friend. And let's focus on his friend and his family. His wife, played by Elizabeth Moss, is a closet alcoholic. Her husband is a materialistic douche. Yeah, he drinks a lot too, but more than anything, he's always obsessed with having the best toys. And meanwhile, you've got their daughters, who I'm pretty sure would survive the invasion of the body snatchers. You see Adelaide and her family try to evade this family of doppelgangers who have labeled themselves the Tethered. You can imagine my surprise when I find out that this doppelganger family are not the only ones, and that there's another family resembling their friends who also are wearing red jumpsuits and who also choose to kill with scissors and who slaughter that whole family en masse. That is when you immediately discover that this goes a lot bigger than anyone anticipated. And when you observe them very deeply, you come to this horrifying realization that they are happier and they're much more unified as a species. And their aim for each and every single one of them is to kill their doppelganger, to sever the tether, as they say. Because when you look at their original counterparts versus the Tethered, you see all of them, they're all frustrated, they all have these hang-ups, they all have these aspects about them that you can tell are stifling them as people, as individuals. And the horrible thought is that because all these people have fallen into these trappings, that you look upon their simpler counterparts. When you look upon the Tether, all of them seem to be much more unified, and they all seem to be a lot more harmonious, and that after their tethers have respectively been severed, they all seem to be at peace. And that's the part that freaked me right the hell out, was the idea that this life that I have set for myself, is this really the right way to go? Am I happy this way? And I looked upon everyone around us and I was going, look at ourselves. We seem to be happy with our lot in life, but deep down, are we? We seem to have, if anything else, hoarded ourselves into our own little nest. And we all seem to have broken connections with other people. Whenever you're greeted by new people, you end up sort of freaking out at the notion of connecting with people because you're afraid of being disappointed by them, you're afraid that they're going to judge you, you're afraid that you might actually develop some kind of connection with them that might take you out of your comfort zone. And all these hang-ups that we seem to have cultivated for ourselves end up making us wonder, are we actually the better people? I can definitely see that's where the class discrimination angle comes in. It has me judging myself, going, is this better, what we're doing for ourselves? And it was this thought process of mine that immediately led me to realize that Jordan Peele was saying something drastically different with this film than he said with Get Out, and that he definitely has more to say than just one thing, as opposed to a lot of other filmmakers who think that they're saying something new and profound with every film, but in reality are just saying the same thing, the Shyamalan effect. Jordan Peele wanted to say something new and something bigger. Deep down, each of us, we think that we're connecting with each other via social media, by what we think is self-expression, when in reality we are actually building up walls between each other, and that maybe, just maybe, we had to scale it back in order for us to realize that in order for us to connect to society, we don't need all these superficial trappings. I can't really think of a single shortcoming with this movie. So much so that, really, for the year of 2018, I'm going to give it our first Narcotic Casserole rating of a perfect... Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think that this might have been a drastic step down from Get Out? Or do you think that this is a new masterpiece from Jordan Peele? More importantly, do you find my interpretation somewhat agreeable, or do you find it drastically rudimentary? That's totally fine. I didn't get Mother on the first go. But nevertheless, leave it here on Narcotic Casserole. Like, share, subscribe, click. Thou shalt be served.
There's a family in our driveway.
It's probably the neighbors.
But y'all scared of a family?
Hi, can I help you?
You got to go to this pub. They have this incredible bangers and mash.
No.
The bangers have this very nice spice about them.
Oh,
You
yeah,
put
no,
with
no,
the
we
mashed potatoes,
totally gotta
and then
go.
you have HP sauce.
We gotta go do this.
We got to do that.